Hey, what is going on, everybody? Boilon here, and welcome to another Marvel Strike Force event video. Today we're going to be talking about not this calendar, but I'm recording this on the weekend, a little bit before the release date of this video, and I just thought it was funny. This is number 2 of these crazy 100-day login calendars, and very likely, maybe likely, by the time that you watch this video, there's actually a third one. Who knows? But yeah, they're getting desperate out here in Scopely land. Today's video, though, we're here to talk about the very first event for the month of May, and that is the fire... You know what? I screwed that up already. What is it? It is Feel the Burn. I had to actually check my... that exhausted. Feel the Burn. That's what we're here to talk about. What's really great about this event, though, is that you're going to be getting a lot of extra Invader Shards, which is really cool. So if you watch this video and you follow all the steps, then you'll be able to collect quite a few extra Invader Shards, which, is great, because I thought that actually the team was over. But no, there's more shards, even more shards coming your way for them. So be sure to make sure that you hit that like and subscribe button. Also, if you haven't, make sure that you're also part of the Discord, because all of my math videos and charts will be shown there as well after the fact. So if you're ready to go, everybody, then let's boil this down. Now, as we normally do, we need to kind of recap, or not recap, but start the recap of the new May month-long table. So I've made a new table, this time for Firestar, who is going to be your May month-long character for Solar Flare. That's the name of her month-long event. This is going to look very similar to April's, which was Union Jack. So they're going through this new system, I guess, now going forward, where you're getting 130 shards instead of 180. In fact, did we get 180 in February? I'm not even sure. But now it's 130, plus you're going to get other shards for Firestar in other event milestones in the month. So it's like a slow dribble again, but then you're going to get more later on. And hopefully, they did say in the blog that by the end of all of this, that if you did everything and you completed the events, you would walk away with a 4-star Firestar. So I believe them this time. Hopefully that that's true, just like it was for Union Jack. It's just a little bit different system. Also, this time it's 5 items. 5 event items. In the past, we sometimes had more, which is why there's some gaps here on my table, because I admit I did copy and paste some of this. So there was like 7 items, I believe, for Union Jack, and now there's only 5, which means there's less main milestone events, but it does mean that they're probably going to be for longer periods of time, that the amount of days is going to be more than they were typically in some of the past months. Not much we know so far. I just kind of, just corrected the numbers, the rows a little bit, and just getting ready for the rest of May. So not too important there anyways. But let's talk about the Feel the Burn event. But we can also take a look at the leaderboard as well. So just in case you didn't know, that this is kind of the way that the Solar Flare chart is going to be for the 750k. But also that, you're probably going to... What I remember from Union Jack was that we did kind of unlock them around the sort of halfway point, because the other event would come in with 50 more shards. So you basically need to get to 50 shards for Firestar, which would be around... we did get 5 for free from the free login. So 5, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 down here. So you're probably looking at about 199,000 points, because there's probably going to be another event maybe by week 2, early week 3, that's going to probably give you the extra 50 shards for Firestar to unlock her. So it's not going to be that bad. Let's talk about the Feel the Burn. This is the main event that we're going to be talking about here today. There is a web milestone, but it's really not actually, you know what, and I'll just bring it up on the side. It's really not that much to talk about, but I'll bring it up there anyways, because it's really easy. This is the that's the Feel the Burn. And what's really great about this is the shards that you're getting from the invaders. So you get like about a total of 20 Captain America World War II, if you still need it, 20 Union Jack, and up to 20 Bucky Barnes or 20 Iron Fist, depending on how many training orbs you have saved. Now, for me, because we're on the back of another training orb event that we had more recently, I don't know how many training orbs that you guys have been able to save up. That being said, I, at this point on the weekend, though, I have about 23 training orbs. So this is going to be enough for getting towards like the event item and things like that. We'll go over the math. Two things that I want to recommend if you're hopefully doing that already, but if you're not, if you do want to get additional training orbs, but also of course the gold orbs, then make sure that you're doing the challenge. I mentioned this in a previous video, that making sure that you're farming this every single day and you're doing the preview events as long as they last right now. Whether or not we get new training, new preview events for next patch, I'm not sure. Nonetheless, hopefully you've been farming these. It's been a really great source of training orbs. I don't recommend coring this though, but at least making sure that you do this every single day is a good source of training orb fragments. If you're really hard up and you, I don't know, either open your training orbs or you just don't have a lot of them, you can actually farm them from the hard mode villains chapters. I don't do this myself, but they are on a variety of different nodes. The She-Hulk node, the Nico node, I believe there's 4 of them in chapter 4, I think, from the Dagger node. So 4, 6, and 7. They are also mirrored in the heroes mode, so if you do want to get gold, gold is not part of this event, but if you do want to do that, of course, they mirror on 4, 5, and 7 for the hero side as well for gold orbs. So make sure you do that if you need it. So let's talk about the actual math, though, for this event. Okay, it's pretty simple, to be honest. It's not that hard, which is great because this is the first month of May, so they're going to ease us in. But you know, if you did watch my kind of retrospective on the month of April, so far things are going up, and I'm hoping that things remain to stay this way in the month of May because things in the past were not so good. This is a 4-day event. This requires you opening training orbs and doing raid battles. Extra points with invaders. At this point, I would hope that you have the characters geared up enough. If you don't, you can still get points for doing like suicide attacks and not really like, you know, winning, but you know, you should probably have invaders built to a decent degree, especially since the challenge requirements for the preview events did require gear 13 anyways. So there's a total of 250,000 milestone points. I'm going to say this does include whalestones because it's still a lot of training orbs that you're going to need to open. However, some of you may do this because you may just have a huge ass horde and you didn't exactly use all of them from the last training orb event anyways. You need 105,000 points to get the event item, and then you do get some other, if you see anything in like a light blue or a sky blue, that's going to be like a subtotal. So you're going to get 60,000 points, assuming that the blog was correct and it's not subject to change, from the web milestone. So that was this one called the Blazing Battles. This is just battling in Blitz, but if you look at the chart, you only need to do 10 Blitz battles. 5,000 points down here is what caps out, and you do get a total of 20,000 milestone points per day from this. So 10 Blitz battles, that's it. You know, 20,000 points for 3 out of 4 of the days, because it says down here it repeats 3 for a total of 4. I think that's what I got. It repeats 3 times for a total of 4. Maybe there's an extra one. Is it 80,000? Then who knows? Maybe 60,000 or 80,000 points. I actually don't quite understand this. I'll admit. Maybe I'm not reading closely enough. It doesn't really matter though. Whether or not this is 60,000 points or 80,000 points, you can tell that the event points, the amount of milestone points that you need to get the event item is only 105. So if it's 80,000 points, then this is going to be even easier and even less on the training orb requirement. But you do get 20 Bucky shards and 20 Iron Fist shards. These are going to be the more premium invader shards that you're going to get. The other characters for World War II, Cap and Union Jack, are going to be a lot easier to get. You're going to get them along the way when you get the event item anyway, so that's not a big problem there. You get 2,000 points for opening a training orb. You get 500 points for doing a raid battle. There are no caps. Again, assuming that the blog was legit, that the blog was not messed up, and I guess we'll see, well, probably see by today, Monday afternoon, and hopefully that it is still the case. You do get additional points for raid battling with invaders for 1,200 up to 12,000, so that's going to be 10 raid battles with the invaders, which should be doable, especially if you do happen to use them in the Greek raids. That should be okay too. It's a 4-day event, so you just need to do like 2 or 3 battles with them each day. You do get additional points if you happen to have a 4 yellow, Iron Fist if you manage to get that from his event. It's an additional 5,000 points or 2.5 training orbs worth. It's not a huge deal. So the total amount of raid battles that I would say is reasonable is about 20. That's 10 Doom Raid attacks and 10 Greek Raid attacks for a total of 80 over 4 days. Now, times that by 500, that's going to give you about 40,000 points. I think everyone should be able to get the 12,000 raid bonus there from the invaders. That shouldn't be a problem. You may or may not get the Iron Fist, so add that at your leisure. But with the invaders points, it's about 52,000. Now, if you add the 52,000 with the 60,000 and you subtract from what you need for the Bucky and the Iron Fist shards, this is what you need left over for your training orbs. You need to open 17 training orbs, assuming it's 60,000 from the web milestone. 17 training orbs for the Bucky shards, 38 training orbs for the Iron Fist shards, which doesn't sound like a lot of orbs, and it's not. It's just that I think I haven't been able to recoup as many training orbs for this event from the last time we had to open training orbs, which I believe was it might have been the Bucky event, actually. In fact, I forget when the last training orb was. So I'm at 23 currently. I don't think I'm going to be able to squeeze in enough to get those 20 Iron Fist shards, but I am blitzing. I'm trying to blitz as much as I can anyways for Iron Fist currently, so it's not that big of a deal myself. But, maybe some of you are going to have a lot more training orbs than me, and let me know in the comments down below. And frankly, it's not surprising that to some degree, it's not a whalestone, but there's going to be offers that are going to sell training orbs probably, and other things like that to get you additional points, or just flat out milestone points for you to get those 20 Iron Fist shards. But what I really like about this event, and what I like about the events that have come recently, is I don't mind the slow drip shards. And you might have seen that when I was talking about my other video about the events like writ large, and the invaders so far I've been doing pretty well. Are those 20 shards going to do anything for me? Probably not, but that could mean for you, especially people who are around that 3-4 star mark. Those additional 20 shards for all the characters could actually propel you to an additional I can't even talk today, an additional rank. And I think that's really worth it. And for Union Jack, that's actually pushing me towards almost halfway to a 5-star, which is quite interesting because he was the month-long event, and even in the past, we were typically either getting 3.5 or 4-star characters only, and now we're getting a little bit more. So I am actually optimistic with the events currently. I hope that, Scopely doesn't kind of turn the other way and start to make events quite negative, but nonetheless, I am quite happy with how things are right now. Believe it or not, I did not get abducted. I think the events are going in the right direction. I think that they're not very difficult, and I think that there's a reasonable way for us to get character shards for some of these characters on top of other resources that are in the milestone that I didn't really bother to talk about. So that's it for today's video. Not as long of an event video, but I hope you guys all do well. Hold your training orbs. Make sure that you open them when the event goes live. And until next time, everybody, stay safe and healthy, and I'll see you all later. Boilon, signing out.